Look, a lot of creators get a simple VSL funnel wrong, and I'm about to prove it. If you're a content creator or on your own business or running your own business or looking to implement a high ticket offer with a simple VSL funnel or a book to call funnel, then this is something you want to watch because I'm going to be going over a VSL funnel of Danielle Lukens, who has over 100K on Instagram, her main platform, and going through and running it down through her funnel, tearing it down, seeing what parts work, what parts don't work, and comparing it to two other funnels. One that's in the middle or between hers, and another one that's an absolute beast. This guy is a YouTuber who has over 1 million subscribers, the Trading Geek, and he's absolutely killing it. And this is one you want to monitor after, but I want to show a couple different examples because each one kind of has its own highlights that we can take from. So without further ado, let's get into it and start breaking this down. So the main two platforms we have are Instagram and YouTube. Now, if we look at Instagram, this would be her main platform. So with that in mind, I want to go in YouTube first to really kind of just tear down through quickly about what I have seen based on what she's done, give her suggestions, and then we'll go over to more of her Instagram, how she's funneling, and then start comparing it. So let's get right into it. Let's start with the YouTube side. So first, when we look at the YouTube, we'll see that it's split into two primary videos. So you got first your beginner videos. Here, these are videos for pretty much people in her niche. Now she's targeting more of the crypto, more altcoins, more of the people in the financial space. These are around 8 to 12 minutes long. They're great, and they're great for nurturing and really targeting more of the broader audience that she may have. Then we got the news videos. Now these videos she's kind of just gives or just puts out based on topics or trends or current news that may be relevant that's pertains to Bitcoin, to crypto, or the financial space. So you can imagine these are pretty pertinent. These are pretty at the time they do pretty well, but then after a while they typically don't do as well. So these two mini videos, these are the things I'm seeing on YouTube. Again, it's at her main platform she's attacking, so it's few and far in between. She's actually had a break with it, so we're not going to put our main focus into it. But in the beginning videos, you'll see that when you watch through them, she has a last minute soft call to action. She'll say, hey, look, if you like this information, if you really like it, then you should consider joining my insider trading group, because we go into a lot of this stuff and even more in depth of how I can use these strategies to build financial wealth, to build financial stability, to retire yourself, whatever it may be. This is all stuff we discuss, and I'm helping you prepare for the next bull run. Don't miss out on it. Sign up today. And it'll be this. That might have been that ending might have been a little more of a direct, hard kind of call to action, but this is something you can start implementing in your videos. Then once we get to her next video, her news videos, she doesn't have an actual call to action. She just leaves off with maybe a question about what their thoughts on it, and that's it. And they'll all be funneled to her description, which is very problematic because you'll see that there's a thing on YouTube called above the fold. Now, above the fold is anything that requires on YouTube to be seen after clicking on the description. Because on the YouTube side, you can only see about this much, right? Or it cuts off. It would cut off like that. When you have that, you'll see that this is a missed opportunity because it requires them to take another action to click on see full description here, and then they can get to apply here. Here, it would make more sense to just put it up here, put the link, and then they can click on it. Not a huge thing, but you would see a little bit increase of traction on YouTube side. But by all means, by no means, you're going to see a major difference in what you're pulling on YouTube. Mainly because she's not targeting YouTube fully. So let's get over to the Instagram side, because this takes you to the VSL funnel, and we're going to go to more of the socials first, and then we'll get to the funnel, because there's a couple of things I want to make, a couple of remarks I want to make for how she kind of funnels these people. So Instagram, let's look at it. So she had 4 different types of content styles now, or formats. I'm going to go from left to right, and then because it seems to have more importance as we go left to right in this case. So her first style of or format she goes with is a visual plus read description. Now, if you ever seen anything like this, they're so popular on Instagram. They kind of rely on short videos that says maybe a message and then it says read description, and then they'll just read description and it has some type of value there. And really good. It's really great for educating people, nurturing people to know who you are, to give you some valuable content, to show, hey, I'm an authoritative or I'm credible. I know what I'm talking about. So that's the first thing there. So let's go to the next thing, news. Now, news call to actions with questions. This one is very similar to her regular kind of news styles, but short, and then it's about like maybe 1 to 2 minutes, and then she ends off with a call to action with a question, and she'll do the same thing here. She'll call to action, the people give it comments and say whatever they think. Now, if we go to the third style, this is her education plus call to action follow. So same thing, kind of like just like short one, but it's actually made in a video. Or you can imagine kind of like these beginner videos, but made in this. It just gives some sort of value, whether it's from a podcast or just her speaking to the camera as a talking head. She'll talk to the camera. She'll give some great education, great advice, and then she'll leave a call to action at the end to follow for more content like that. And of course, she ends with a call to action in the description of to have more engagement. And all of these will funnel to her bio, which then people will click to join her inner circle program, which are then linked to her simple VSL funnel. Great. So those are the top three. Then we get over to her far in few in between call to action keyword ones. Now she's not really actively promoting this, which I'm surprised, which is a huge missed opportunity. I think you should be doing a call to action every other post because it's a great way to get people's contacts, leads, and all that. And links, it has been shown that it's a lot more effective. I think upwards to 30 to even 40% more effective in terms of getting leads from using a keyword than an actual link in the description. Now, don't take my word for it. I know MiniChat has specific statistics on it. I don't know off the top of my head on those, so don't quote me on that. But I have seen it work before. So that's my big thing. Do a comment because one, it gets people engaging, and then the engagement shows the algorithm that hey, this is actually popping, this is working really well. So let's start pushing it even more. Now, I think Go High Level has some feature that lets you comment, but I don't think it has as much features or integrated features as MiniChat. So I would do the comparison on that. I haven't really fully dived into Go High Level with that, but that's something that might be worth checking out if you use a Go High Level. Now let's get into what exactly is she sending once you comment the keyword inner circle. In my opinion, I'm not a big fan of it. I think what you'll see in a second here is that it's very short. It doesn't nurture. It's just straight to it, and it's going to be a lot of impulse books, which not much people are going to show up. They're not committed, etc. There's a lot of things that can be improved here. But regardless, let's get into it. Hey, thanks for getting in touch. Are you looking for me to be your mentor? And it's only one option, yes. Click it, you get yes, then it goes to this one. If you want me as your mentor and you're ready to take action and what could be the last true crypto bull run, there she's injecting FOMO, which is it's good. Please click the button below to schedule a call. Then she books a call. Book a call. I think the message could be slightly improved. I think she could get a little more about why you're a mentor, a little more specific, why it's the last bull run. You can make it a little more that's where I'm like, I think a little more nurturing could do good, and more FOMO could been add into it, the copywriting, but it doesn't matter. This is her funnel. I'm not gonna dissect it fully, but in terms of making the message better, we're looking more at the macro stuff here. So then she takes their call, which is then you enter all this stuff. What you do, living, Instagram handle, country, based out of, probably because she doesn't want people from India, mainly probably United States, UK, Australia, etc., New Zealand, whatever maybe. Age, probably for qualification as well. Qualification for specifically if you're old enough, if you probably have the money. Then current size of your portfolio, probably how much money you're working with, and then how much additional capital are you looking to put in markets. Also, another qualifying question to understand how much you're willing to invest. Then she takes him to the inner circle, and that's that. Now we can maybe consider a 30 to a 40% close rate, and maybe she's bringing in from this maybe like a 2%. So that's very interesting. The numbers on that. Yes, she could be getting higher numbers. She could be getting smaller numbers. Who knows? That's just all speculation, and it could be a lot different. But let's go to now her actual VSL, and this is where the actual advice. This is where really the heavy hitting stuff you'll see when compared to other creators are golden. And this is stuff you can apply to your own business, to your own VSL funnel if you're looking to start up your own, or if you're looking to improve it, whatever it may be. This is stuff you should be looking into because it's very important, and it's going to be interesting what I come back with and what you can implement. So let's get right into it. So the first thing first is the simple VSL funnel. Now you'll see that I'll go through it real quick, and then I'll compare it to others. So the first thing first is that you'll land on the page and you have above the fold. Now above the fold is anything that doesn't require you to scroll. So it's the immediate page you land on, the immediate visuals, the immediate copy or the words written, the immediate visuals, the video, everything, all the structuring and all that. So it's everything that you're seeing on your screen when you first initially land on the page. So anything below the fold is anything that requires you to scroll. So all this stuff. So you can see that I cut off with this yellow line. Now, why am I so focused? Why am I hyper-focused on this? Well, the reason is because 60% of people are truthfully not going to be scrolling past your when they first land on your page. So with that understanding, if 60% of people are not going to be scrolling, then that means you're only getting 40% of those people going down here. And if you think about that, all your effort should be going mainly up here. By no means I'm not saying you ignore below the fold. You focus all your efforts on there. But people get hyper focused on certain sections, certain things to implement. When in reality, truthfully, they should be focusing on 80% of the time on this, because this is where 20% of the effort should go. Well, 20 most of your effort will go in this, and this is where you reap the reward. So in a whole page, 20% of effort may go into it, but 80% will net from this. So with that understanding, what should you have? What should you have to really make this work well, so you can maximize all the possibilities to make sure someone clicks on your button? What are the top levers you can pull? And what should you have on your landing page? Well, there's a couple of things. You should have who you are, what you do, what benefit you get, and some form of credibility or social trust that they can give around you. Because at the end of the day, there's three types of sales. You have the sale of your mechanism, pretty much what you're teaching. You have the sale of why they should trust you, your credibility, the source, and the sell on themselves, that they can do it themselves. So if you absolutely crush those three things, especially in this beginning frame and above the fold, then you're absolutely going to kill it in terms of conversion. You can get upwards to 10% conversion, which absolutely be crushing it. And that'd be something that easily could net you from 10 plus K additional months to even up to 30 to 40% or 30 to 40 plus K of additional revenue. All possibility. And that's all because you focus on this top frame right here. So you should have who you are, what you do, what benefits you get, and instant testimonials. So let's go through this. Who are you? What do you get and what benefits you get? you get from this? Well, all core advantage. Okay, that's kind of who you are a little bit, but doesn't give you much. From beginner to pro, how to build your winning portfolio, dominate the markets, and lock your advantage with the ultimate crypto mastermind for high level individuals. Okay, think about that. Does it answer these three questions? Who you are. Does it? Not really. Maybe in the video she'll explain it. We have an idea all current advantage. That's something, but not really. What do you do? Well, something to do with cryptos. Obviously, dominating markets, probably understand markets. Pretty much have an advantage of portfolio and crypto. So maybe we do like a semi, like we do this, we do that for maybe, and then what benefits you get? Well, you go from beginner to pro. You build a winning portfolio and you understand markets pretty much more better. Not really specific, but I have a general, I guess, idea on it. So if I had to do that, okay, we have that. Now, testimonials and trust built. There's nothing here. There's nothing to really convince me that, hey, there's I should trust you, or there's something to sell on myself that I should believe that's the case. And so I think this is an absolute fail here. So out of all of this, if I had to do it, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's like a 2.5. If we want to make it that very simple, 2.5 out of 4. Okay, let's look over here. If we go to this, let's look at this. Okay, so this stuff, stop guessing, start winning. The only system in crypto that gives you institutional level intelligence without institutional level capital requirements. Interesting. This sounds like a more mature audience. This sounds like a more sophisticated audience. So, with that understanding, it sounds like he has done a little bit more nurturing. And granted, these landing pages do have a little bit of a nuance to them, that it does depend on the level of audience you have, like the sophistication level, and also the type of warmness they are. What level, how warm are your audience? This seems like probably it's a more warm audience, so they have that, so they know. Hers is coming from Instagram. They don't seem like they're really that warm to me. So bear in mind that key information. But off the start, we have this excellent Trustpilot. Instantly right there, you already have your social proof. Instant testimonials and trust build. So right there, you already got your testimonials and trust build off the bat. Amazing. We have who you are. Probably definitely goes more into it in this video, this VSL. So that's another key thing we can kind of take into account there. Stop guessing, start winning. Probably that's probably one of the key things people or clients are probably telling them. They feel like they're guessing all the time in this market. I just want to start winning and increasing my portfolio. So they probably use those direct quotes. Pretty much, stop guessing, start winning. The only system in crypto that gives you institutional level intelligence without institutional level requirements. So, and then they have limited spots that kind of to create that urgency there. Create that urgency, and then move that over, and then apply for membership. Cool. So you have that. Now let's look into the heavy hitter. This is the one that I was telling you at the beginning, who has 1 million subscribers, Trading Geek, the 1% Club, absolutely killing it. We're going to see this in a second. So let's look at it just like above the fold. So I think around here or so, it's like above the fold. Off the start, discover how we can guarantee you'll become a profitable 6-figure trader in 12 months. Or we will work with you for free until you do. Think about that. That's amazing. That's specific. Doesn't that feel different compared to something like this or even something like this? This seems completely vague. If we compare this to this, it's night and day. One is just very general. Another one is very specific. And that's what you want. You want specificity, because at the end of the day, the more specific it is, the more realistic it typically is. Now, there is a degree aligned to it where If you get so specific, it just becomes like too like wordy and whatever. But the more specific, usually, the better. So with that in mind, and there also has to be a case of like realisticness, because you may be specific as much as very specific, but it may be so unbelievable that people just won't believe it. So there has to be a degree of like, okay, this is probable or whatever. So in this case, discover how we can guarantee you'll become a profitable trader or a profitable six-figure trader in 12 months. So off the bat, we have an idea of exactly who they are, what they do, and what I get from it. What does it benefit? Plus, they add a really cool thing here by saying, oh, we work for free until you do. Pretty much removing those objections or those major things they have in their minds, the conversation they have in their mind, like, I don't think it's for me. Well, don't worry. You'll get to work for free. We'll work for you for free until we do. So if we go to someone like Alex Hormozi, he has an actual value equation for how people who land your page or look at your stuff value. And it's really simple, and we can apply this to how we go about writing copy in your pages. So this is very interesting that you should take note of. You have a dream outcome, perceived likelihood of achievement, time delay, and effort and sacrifice. If we take all these, right, you want to maximize this and then minimize this. So if we do like this, arrow up, arrow down, like that. So we want to maximize this, minimize this. So dream outcome. Okay, the dream outcome is become a profitable six-figure trader. Cool. So yes, we do touch on this point. Yes, we touch on it pretty well. Perceived high likelihood of achievement. Well, they guarantee it. They give me a realistic time frame, 12 months. Yes, it's going to take a little bit. You have to build up a skill, a high-value skill, and that's going to take time. But they tell me straight up, they probably took the average from all the group, from all the people they have helped before, took an average, a market average, and then spit out that number. And that's the number they probably got. Or we work with you for free until you do. So they add a backup, like saying, hey, if you don't believe it yourself, then don't worry. We got your back until you do. So yeah, I feel like I'm safe. It's guaranteed. Time delay. Well, they give me straight up the realistic number, 12 months. Okay. If I'm a long-term investor, so yeah, that's realistic. And they'll go down more into this later, but we're just specifically looking up here. And then effort and sacrifice. Okay, how much effort and sacrifice do I have to take? Well, 12 months, but for free. They'll work for me for free if it doesn't work, and it's guaranteed. And it'll become a profitable six-figure trader, but I'll pay the amount it costs probably for just spend on it. If I make like 60K and I don't have to pay like 5K, then heck yeah, I'm going to pay for that, right? So understand that they hit all these marks really well. So I would give this like a probably 9 out of 10 if I had to get a number, right? So truthfully, 9 out of 10, that's great. If I had to do the same thing, you can apply the same thing. I'll probably give this like a 6 out of 10. This so general, too general. I would guess this is probably like a 4 out of 10, not even. So that's how you can kind of rank yourself, your own pages internally. You can take this value equation and be harsh on yourself. Like, hey, is this really giving me this dream outcome? Is it really giving me this likelihood of achievement? It might be realistic with a time delay. How much effort and sacrifice do I have to take? Because these are the conversations the person's having in their mind when someone lands on it. And it goes back to even this. Who are you? What you do? What benefits you get? And is there instant testimonials or trust building mechanisms you have in place to ensure it is possible? So with that in mind, let's go now to down the fold. Let's assume you have all this covered. You've done the 60%. You worked on this. You've done 80% of the right things there. Now let's focus on the 20% that will actually help capture the 40% of people who may be still on the fence or just curious about what you do. So first things first, I want to mention is that there's a big study that's done by, I think it was Harvard or Stanford. It was one of the two. I watched the video today. And it said that humans understand images 6,000 times faster than reading words. So if we understand that, if we think about this, just think about it. Humans understand images 6,000 times faster. If you land on a page, you're going to understand the images so much times faster. You get comprehend it so much faster. So what that means is that you should be using images, because images, people don't look and read text. They scroll through, they skim it through usually. Just granted, there are a couple different types of people, how they use pages. But generally, if you go by the principle that people mostly just kind of skim through for kind of the headlines and the images, then this key fact tells you should put all your focus into images. More focus in images. Let's look at this. Let's even just compare as a general idea. We look at all of this. We look at how much images is compared to text. So not even going to say anything. Just look at this. Now let's compare it to this. Now let's compare it to this. There's something to be said that as we go from each one, it gets more and more visual. And there's a reason why. 6,000 times faster. Understood? So with that in mind, use more images. If we even look at something like this, what you get inside. I really love this. This really takes a point home. Let's just not even think about all these like text, these headlines here, right? Let's look at the visuals and see if you can understand what they're getting at. What you get inside. Understand that this is could be a section about what's provided. Okay, live call. Looks like he's on a call. Okay, live call. Cool. Looks like a lot of resources. Yeah, a lot of resources. Lessons. Live trading probably. Maybe tools, resources. It looks like numbers, maybe frameworks or something. Okay, those look like certificates. Probably some credible people helping inside. Inner circle looks like exclusive personal events, real life events. So off the bat, when you just skim these, your eyes take notes of this, and it's really fast. It's not like you'll look at these and your brain will interpret that a lot faster than what I just did. But you see that doing this makes it so much more. Your brain picks up automatically. You comprehend it more. You understand it more. You are able to convince yourself more that this will be for you because it's more visual. We're more visual creatures. So with that in mind, do more visual stuff. It was even said, I heard a statistic that from all our senses, now I don't know the exact number. You can quote me on this. Don't quote me on this, but you can search it up. It was something along the lines of 80% of your senses, like the input you get, are from your eyes, from visually. So with that in mind, if you really think about that, we should use our eyes, the images, a lot more. So that's a big thing. Even if you look at here, you'll see that if he wants to write copy, he'll do multiple images. He'll do a big image, big text, all that. Great. Here it's kind of spread out. It is very small image, very small image. But I do like what they're doing. They have a little bit of text saying of urgency, saying, hey, this is the last bull run, urgency, why. Then they go into why them. They probably get that objection a lot. Why their specific mechanism, why their specific knowledge is for them, and why it's probably better than others. And then they build trust. Meet your mentor. Why should some credibility? Same thing here. They have it, but it's more visual. Bang, bang, head coach. Quick things you need to know. It's not super long. Here you have it super long. There's stuff to be said about it being super long. It doesn't have to be, but it just gotta be quick and actionable and adjustable and clear. to the point, hey, this is why it matters. This is why it matters for you, right? And if there's just more of a story way, then that's fine. But captivating curiosity, digs into pain points, speaks to desired points. So that's the next thing. Bang, bang, bang. Another cool thing, a little small anecdote here, is that you'll have higher conversion when you're showing the product while doing it. So the cool thing is you'll see he's in this photo teaching. You'll see he's in this photo teaching to people. When you're showing your product in it, it converts a lot higher. Another big thing here is this. You got to assume that people won't watch your testimonials. And testimonials from action, altcoin advantage. It'd be better if you put something like, here's directly from my students worldwide who are absolutely killing it. Or these are real stories of people making consistent profits. Something along those lines. Because people get bored just hearing testimonials from blah, blah, blah. They see it every day. Meet Stuart. And then small text. People are not going to read this. Put above it or put right by it, meet Stuart. Put a quote. Put like one of the most captivating quotes. Like, Stuart, I made six-figure months within 6 months. Or I was broke as a joke, but now I'm financially stable because of what you guys did. And put quotes for each one, because then you're forcibly feeding to them and they're not even watching the videos. They'll get it and think, okay, maybe they're just like me, compared to people who are not going to even watch this. So that's a nutty huge thing. Bang, bang. Cool. And then we're kind of going to get into the bottom now. Now, if you like this video so far, then please subscribe. I put a lot of thought into this, a lot of research into this, a lot of work into this to really look at these people and see what they can improve, and comparing it to other industry people or players or creators. That I said players. The other creators and businesses are absolutely killing it. And these are things and tactics that you can use for yourself. So if you are absolutely loving this, please follow, like, comment below. Comment below your favorite key thing that you learned from this. Now, I typically do this, but it's really good feedback for me. So please do, if you really found value, at least this. If you made this far, you might as well, because you got a lot of value. So I'll get back to the video. Let's get back to it. But clear benefit. This is the last section. And it's calling to action, again, to do your step that you want them to take. Now, the cool thing is, I want to show you a good example. And then we can look at the other two examples, and maybe the one to this left here, what they maybe did well, and then the one all the way to the left, what they can prove, what Danielle can prove. The cool thing about this is they have applied to the 1% Club. They give a quick description, book a free 45-minute call to assess your trading, identify key roadblocks, and see if you're a good fit for the 1% Club. Fill out this form to apply now. And then you have your 3 kind of unique selling points and what you're going to get from this. So you can understand what you're going to get and what to expect from it. And this makes a world of difference. And this is something you should have on your contact page, and even at the bottom here, to kind of tell them, hey, this is the exact benefits you're getting. Because they went through all this stuff and you ask them to click a button again or fill out this thing. Why should they? If you don't have this stuff, then it doesn't give them a reason. And it's a missed opportunity to increase conversion again. You got to remind them, hey, this is why you're filling it out. With that understood, let's go over to there's a cutoff. But let's go over to something like here. If you see, when you scroll at the bottom, there's missing benefits. There's missing reason why I should fill it out. There's missing all this stuff. Now, also the same thing is this scroll thing does not work really well when it's at the bottom of the page. It actually gets messed up, and it makes it so much harder and a barrier for people to fill out. So that's another big thing I would say. But regardless, there's missing benefits. There's not a clear indication of why I should fill out, what the next steps are, what I should expect with all this. So huge missed opportunity. And that's the thing, is that there's a lot of key things that's missing here that could be implemented. Another thing I actually did forget that I want to bring up is the step 1 and step 2. Let me erase this real quick. I really love giving people call to actions because it gives them direction of where to go. makes it as clear as possible what they need to do so they don't absolutely royally mess up, and they know what to do, because then they don't have to fumble around, guess, and then leave the page. So the cool thing that I like is that they have a divider here, and they say step 1, do this. Then step 2, do this. And they make it clear. They have it bold. Step 1, watch the video. And then end the video to be like, okay, if you really like this, then fill out the mentorship below. And right here, it'll say 2, step 2, apply for my mentorship below. They have testimonials, and then you can do the thing. They have up here, and they have the same thing down here. So sandwiched. It's literally sandwiched, which is amazing. If you look at here, they actually make it, I think they take it to the next page. They take it to a page or take it to the type form. Now, I kind of like embedding it in the page because it's one less action to take, which one less action means one less barrier, which means more people are filling this out. Same thing here. You could even have it like a step 1, fill out this video, step 2, click here to apply. It doesn't matter. I mean, that could be something you could test, but these are the main things I'm seeing. And it's a lot of information to take away from this, but it's a lot to work with. A lot of conversion I could see her seeing with this, improvements, and probably get better qualified people from this, but also more interested people who are nurtured better. But this is not even the end of it, because she's making another big mistake I think that she shouldn't be doing. Now, truthfully, they could have A/B tested this. They could have A/B tested this and seen that having a type form doesn't work for them, or it doesn't make sense to have this. But in traditional VSL funnels, this works incredibly because of multiple reasons. 1, you get people who won't impulse. 2, you get people who are more qualified. Pretty much goes 3. Well, that's really it. To 2 things is qualified. And that's why everyone goes to type form. They're qualified, they filter through it, so then they can hop on the call. Yes, you do this, but it still doesn't filter it. Because if it's a type form, if they don't make certain qualifications, you can just take them to another thing. Like maybe you can downsell them to a lower community. Or maybe just say, hey, sorry, didn't make it. Sorry. And if they do qualify, then they make it through. This doesn't do any qualifications or your end. Now, you may have a filtering process, maybe with Zapier or NAN or whatever automation tools, or maybe you're going through it yourself. But regardless, that's time. Time you could spend elsewhere working with more valuable clients, more qualified clients that are going to give you better testimonials and actually going to give results for you. Here, this is where a type form will work, which she's not doing. She's sending straight to a call. And what you will have on this call on this type form is BANTs: budget, authority, need, time scale, supply. If you fill out all these things, clear them all out, then you have a qualified prospect who meets your needs, who wants what you have, and it'd be perfect for a call. And that's how you do it. That's how you set up a simple VSL funnel. Now, there's a lot of things to take away from this. I completely understand if it's overwhelming. But I would say if this is something new, completely new, then rewatch through again and take notes. You digested it the first time. Now write down what you need, an action plan. For me, I would say key things is understand you should implement more images, number 1. Number 2, use the Alex Hormozi's value equation and apply it to yourself. Apply it to your own thing, your own offer. Make it so irresistible that you have some type of like guarantee or quote unquote guarantee, which you base on the numbers inside. You say, okay, if someone makes, like if you have a trading offer, someone usually is profitable within 6 months, then on average, then say, hey, we'll guarantee you be profitable in 6 months. Or you don't want to say guarantee, but we'll help you become that. If not, then we'll help you work for free. Bada bing, bada boom. And so you have that. So you have the Alex Hormozi equation, make your offer irresistible, maximize as much as possible above the fold, and make sure you use images. And of course, you can use a type form. So those are the main things. Obviously, bottom as well had added benefits. But those are the key things that you should be looking into if you, again, really like this value, then please consider subscribing. I'm going to be making a lot more videos like this, diving into all this. I'm actually going to be also going to some of the success I've had with my clients, some of the stuff we're looking into, even how I've done editing, how I've gotten them to from 6K to 105K on Instagram in 6 months for this one specific client. Tons of videos in the pipeline I'm thinking about. So if you really like this video, if you like this value, then please consider subscribing and continue to watch more of my stuff. Appreciate it. Comment below if you got any value from it. And if so, please tell me the value you got, which specific value, because that's feedback for me to make further videos. So appreciate it. Thanks for your time. Thanks for watching.